Are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your man, I Make Mad Beats, live from outer space and unapologetic studio. We're here with another episode of the legendary, amazing, astonishing, disruptive, and rebellious podcast that we call Type Beats. Behind me is my cast for the day.
LJ1S, let's get it.
Unique.
Kid Maestro.
Alright, this
Kidrick Lamar.
Come on.
Kidrick. All right.
Oh,
Man, we got topics on deck for today. What we talking about?
man,
Hold on real quick, man.
yeah.
Everybody checking in on IG. You know what I'm saying? Check out the new framing. You know what I'm saying? It looks cool. You know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of an update on the GUI,
Doing shit.
the graphic user interface of Type Beat. Respect to whoever did that, me. You know what I'm saying? And
Respect to whoever it may be.
yeah, whoever that is. I don't know. Before we get started, let me explain it. Go ahead and download that Unapologetic World app. Available for iOS and Android devices after this show, because I don't want you to leave here right now. Stay here with us. We got some interesting topics on hand, talking about all the way from, twerking for votes, you know what I'm saying,
That shit is real.
to some other things. What you got, LJ?
Man, I find it interesting that, this type beat. We've never talked about type beats. How do y'all feel about it? Is it helping? Is it hurting the culture? And being that, well, I'll save that opinion, but the next topic is, if there was ever a moment in your career where, like, you had to be reminded that music is art, who did that for you? Like, what song, what artist, what producer reminded you, like, nah, this is why I got into this. This is,
Yeah.
the art form of it. Yeah, and of course, the politics and hip-hop and music. Man.
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Where do we start?
Type beat from the top. How do y'all feel about type beats, man? Like, we were just before we started, we would.
It's crazy
know?
because I actually started like writing to type beats. Like after I stopped like making my own little piano riffs when I was younger, like I got on YouTube for specific type beat songs. And then I finally got into a studio, and I would still listen to those type beats to see like what kind of vibe I wanted to go for, and then I would try to make my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's tough. I feel like type beats are, I think they have good and bad effect on the joint.
Which one's heavier, though?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's like, I'm trying to parse it in my mind. Like, it damn near might be even. It might just be a straight up disruption. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
because, all right. So on the negative side, right? Like I can't think of another area of life or area of artistry where biting somebody else's style was so celebrated. Like,
It's such a thing.
you know what I mean?
That's
Like
crazy.
just the whole concept of a tight beat is literally like a world dedicated to putting all your effort into not only making somebody sound, but then writing on somebody else's sound. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I want to sound like you, so let me just go find people who spend all their time. You know, that just reeks of that. I mean, that just. It's just like the embodiment of unoriginality, in my opinion. And I feel like that has kind of given way to a lane of just like where now, you know how they say one of the potential dangers of AI is that like AI it's like learning from stuff that humans put out. But then people are going to start using AI to generate stuff, and then it's going to eventually just start learning from AI generated stuff. You know what I mean? And this is going to be this kind of perpetual cycle. I feel like now type beats have become like the sound. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
and now it's just, you know, that it's like a main thing. On the positive side, like I can't be mad at nobody getting their bread up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's become a legit like real hustle, real career for people to be making these things. And one thing I think is great about type beats is when you kind of dive down into like people like doing tutorials on type beats. It's an amazing learning tool. Like, how did this person do this? Now, to me, the idea is like you take that information and you synthesize it and you do your own thing, right? The goal is to move towards originality, but like now there are people who like study and breaking down the people we love sound, and then they'll go so far as to teach you how to do it, right? And you'll learn. You just learn a lot, and I definitely feel like that's elevated, like just the base level of like skill sets in general. There's people who are still trash, but like that's because they're lazy. It's not because of lack of access to.
Real quick, if you're a producer out there, a beat maker out there, how you feeling about the type beats era, right? The fact that people are making beats like your beats soon after you done made them and actually say it's like a you type beat. And they're going to get love and respect off of that and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Please tap in with us. Yeah. And by the way, hold on. Actually, man, you know what? Big shout out to all the producers, but also shout out to the people that's not producers in the chat. Can we explain this phenomenon?
Yeah.
Let's explain that.
A type beat is basically like, let's take one of the biggest artists or the most popular artists in the world right now. Currently, we was going to say Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar has formed a sound with his team, a group of producers and engineers to make a sound that we recognize as a familiar or typical Kendrick Lamar sound. So like when we hear it, it'd be like, yo, this reminds me of Kendrick Lamar. There are producers and beat makers who then listen to that and be like, they'll make, you know, beat tapes and albums and, you know, YouTube playlists worth of tracks that are literally titled Kendrick Lamar type beats, mimicking Kendrick Lamar's sound, right? So that's a type beat. What that has also turned into is artists making Kendrick Lamar type songs and people selling Kendrick Lamar type beats and making money off of somebody else's sound, right? And identity. And then at the highest level, now we got major artists YouTubing type beats.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And rapping on those. And then even further, I'm not lying. I wish C Major was here. Then these folks will get type beats and then pay a producer to remake your beat to avoid the copyright jumps. So it's like, you know, all off of Kendrick Lamar's, all off of Soundwave, whoever was producing Kendrick Lamar's music, all off of their sound. Everybody else has taken that, literally copied it, and built off their whole thing around it. And now everybody sounds like something you worked your whole life to sound like, right? Yeah. And now you got to try to figure out something else, or you know what I'm saying, or maybe you don't. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's where branding and stuff kind of also comes in. But yeah, there's that. But I you know, it's also a great educational tool. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like everybody has tried to make a beat that felt like somebody they loved. I just don't imagine like that's the sound that they continue. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's like a phase that you're supposed to grow through.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And but it's like
that's right.
Oh, I'm just gonna stay here. And honestly, there's a market. Like, you know, it's the producers making these type beats, but also I gotta hold some accountability for the artists. who search out
Here we go.
like another artist's sound.
Yeah.
Like if you rap and you lyrical and you also kind of like fuck with the hood and stuff.
Yeah.
You probably one of the people that like look up JID type beats, JID type beats, right? And then rap and put out songs off of those joints instead of doing what they did, which is go and find somebody and build a sound.
It's
right?
some artists to this day that have made successful careers mimicking someone else's sound.
Yeah.
And sometimes those people don't even get a chance to even be heard anymore because someone has, created their lane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like during my journey, just being around music and music itself, like there was a moment where like if you bit someone else's sound, that was a problem. Like it was a real issue. Like folks would press you for that. And they'll call you out and all that stuff. Even producers, his songs with Missy talking about other producers stealing Timbaland's sound.
Yeah.
So for now, like for that to be the thing, is weird. It's weird, but again, like you said, it allows people to learn.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine me. Like I've definitely studied some of my favorite producers, but like you said, it was a phase. It was a moment to learn about how to do this. And then eventually I branch off and do my own thing.
It's not like you upload that and that's the brand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you don't name your beat that. Even if you make a Kendrick Lamar type beat, right? Produced by LJ, just to go so far as to this is the brand. Like you would just name it something else.
Yeah,
it's like
I couldn't imagine.
It'd be like, oh, this nigga kind of sound like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And that'll be what it is. Not like, yo, I am trying to sound like this dude. Here you go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
it's wild to me, but I think that also, and this could just be me, like an age thing. I'm not sure if that or if it's just a shift of the culture. Like producers, artists, when it comes to the art, most of us want to be known for what we do. Like if we're going to be known for it, we want it to be us, But then I guess you play the gimmick thing. I think that's where it really shifted when folks realized, like, no, this is the sound, this is the market, and they're starting to play the game, so to speak. Right. But like you said, I couldn't imagine throwing myself in that pool and being like, yeah, this is a tight beat. Like, I don't know, man.
I feel like this shit started when like SoundClick. Came
Really?
Out. When regular niggas just could start selling beats for $30.
I think
no,
it was like
then it'd be like, yo, who can sell the more beats?
That's not
like
facts.
Hipstrumentals,
Facts.
Hipstrumental.com and all
that. B-Star switched the game up.
Tap in with us. Nah, this is definitely B-Stars. I definitely feel like I definitely feel like B-Stars' existence has had a huge role to play in this dynamic. I think, man, like when I think about the pros and the cons of tight beats, first and foremost, let me just say this, bro. Like, it's kind of impossible for me to ever think about like, well, man, I can't hate on nobody for getting their bread up, man. We could have said that to slave owners. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can't have a problem with the way you get bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely.
That's right.
And now I'm not saying that's what I have a problem with the way they're, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying money will never be an excuse for me to not have a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do think, man, like, I think a few things happened. I think all of us grow up, if we're making beats, we're mimicking somebody for a while. And then we exit into our own world, you know? I think what happened is that idea continued, except visibility came during that process. So for me, for example, right, when I was biting all the producers that I love trying to learn, I didn't have an Instagram page. You know what I'm saying? I was in the trenches doing this kind of in a silo. You know what I'm saying? But who knows, right? Who knows if when I was first starting making beats and I was mimicking my favorite producers, what if I had a SoundCloud page? What if, you know what I'm saying? What if I was out here trying to, as soon as possible, get affirmation that I'm getting better, right? Ain't no telling what I would have put up on these platforms to just sound like I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's not just like artists and just biting and blah, blah, blah. I think it's also just the idea that, like, people are beginning to demand visibility and affirmation. It's still in the beginning incubation stages.
Right.
Right? Like, the people aren't graduating and now you're out in the world. People out in the world is fucking sixth graders. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's played a big role in, like, okay, well, how can I, as soon as possible, get these? That's another thing that's in play too. Is like, when I was first learning how to make beats and all this stuff, even if I did post it up on some forum or on MySpace or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like there was no view counter.
Yeah.
Right.
There was no listen counter.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That just was just up.
This is up. And that's it. And
I
you-
think
you know?
that's what like
That's what
really
it really
made
was.
people like start like getting crazy about. Oh my gosh, I only
Yeah.
got
Want
6
that
views.
attention.
Yeah,
Sonny, what up, homie?
You said, oh my God, I only got 6 beats.
I only got 6 views on
Oh,
this
views.
beat.
Yeah.
Or like the ranting. Like I think we've all experienced a piece of that. I know I have because like it
Yeah.
used to bother me.
Nah,
you know what I'm
views.
saying?
No,
Yeah.
views.
Pay attention
All
to
these
it.
things, they're not just like they're determining what kind of music you make, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying is like, when you're trying to, as soon as possible, get respected or get, and not be seen as somebody not lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you're trying to come up with something that's immediately familiar, that they can say, oh, I like this. This isn't new. I immediately like this. And that's something that they're already familiar with. And I think that all of this, I think counting views, I think the fact that, people are now going out into the world as sixth graders and, metaphorically, and just the fact that it's easier to learn now how somebody else did it. Like imagine trying to do Jay Dilla type beats at the end of the 90s. Like, I mean, good luck trying to figure out what he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
for real.
Like now you could do it. You just go look up somebody else's tutorial. You know what I'm saying? And it's just an easy way out. Back then, like it was hard. Like you could listen to Dilla beat and still have no idea what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's
trial and
easy to type beat because it's easy to find. Like even down to like chord progressions.
Yeah.
Like now, like the other day, I was like, man, I love this Kendrick Lamar song.
Yep.
Just go look up the chord progression. Like it's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Cordify.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And so it's easy for people. It's low hanging fruit because there's just so much information out there that tells you how to sound like somebody else, and then there's so many reasons to sound like somebody else now.
Yeah, people are making legit money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for me, that's the part I kind of zoom in on. Is just that there is just like a legit market, not just in like the view, like your YouTube. You make a J. Cole type beat and it's hard and the views run up and your page is popping. Like that's monetization. Like that's like a form of business. But there are people who are just simply there are artists paying for that beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I can't. And I'm not gonna say that's necessarily wrong, but it's just the idea that like this, it's directly got another rapper's name on it. It's just like the feeling of it. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So, but now I wonder is that
like I'm an artist, yo. I'm trying to rap on J. Cole sound like that. I just when you say it like that, or when I say it like that, that's just feels weird.
But you know why? You know what it is though, bro? And this is something that's just changed. And I feel like we've seen this across the board, you know what I'm saying? Like in sports and other things, blah, blah, blah. Like that to me, when I look at that, to me, that's a direct change in like what is and isn't competitive nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
interesting?
Like I'm just being real. Like if I was a rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I walked in and it was like, yo, pro type beat. And I'm like, nigga, I don't want no pro. I want I make mad type beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's my competitive nature of like, I don't want pro to even think like I'm trying to sound like him. I don't want nobody to think pro my father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I came up with this sound because I'm cool with pro.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that.
Right.
But that's my competitive nature.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Like big shout out to pro, you know what I'm saying? But I'm I'm just saying like now people are like they don't and I think we see it in sports too. People from other teams hang out with each other and chill. Like that competitive nature has just changed over time. It's not wholly different, but it's changed. Absolutely.
You know what? That just made me wonder too. Like when it comes to type beat, or just the idea of what it means to compete in music. Like, cause I feel you. It's like, no, I don't want them associations. I'm trying to be my junk. But at the same time, I feel like at the highest level, the opposite happens too. It's
Absolutely.
Like, oh,
Absolutely.
this rapper's doing drill beats.
Yeah.
I could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can do all this.
Yeah.
Let me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's working. Let me make sure I'm not falling behind. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Dino Starseed says, "Bingo! The result of those participation awards." Yeah, that's it. I mean, I couldn't agree more. You know, I feel like, as always, as I've said in almost every one of these podcasts, you know, there's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I feel like to truly compete at the top, and I'm gonna be real. I think it's not just the top; it's to truly compete at the top for longevity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing, man. Like, I've lived long enough to have seen music that was like popping at a time. Literally 8 years later, nobody even remember you did it. Like, it's nobody's pulling it up and they play. It's not getting recycled through on, like, you know, the 2010s playlists. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, because it didn't cut through. It wasn't. It was so that era that it just fell in line with, and other things were more popular in that era. So goodbye. Right. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you have things that were unique in that era, right? That find their way to cut through over time. You know what I'm saying? And so I couldn't agree more, man. Like, I'll tell y'all this straight up, man. Like, I'll never forget. Like, and I feel like it's been long enough now, so I can start publicly talking about this. I think I have once before, but you know, I've been out west and heard, you know, people who work for and at Aftermath, you know, not too long before To Pimp a Butterfly came out, say, yo, no 808s on this next Kendrick album.
Yeah.
No 808s. You know what I'm saying? And it was exactly as you're saying, kid, where it was like, nah. They looked around and they was like, it's 808s all over the place. We got to stand out. And Kendrick Lamar is the greatest artist of all time. We need to challenge that and try to make an album with no 808s. And then To Pimp a Butterfly came out. I'll never forget that. And so you're absolutely right. And so when you think about it, right? Yeah, there was a lot of albums that came out at the time. Some albums even got higher accolades when it comes to Grammys and stuff, right? Yeah. But 10 years later, what were those albums?
Yeah.
I don't even remember them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about those albums. People still talk about To Pimp a Butterfly to this day.
Right.
You know, and so.
We were just talking about it last week.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like, maybe that's an episode of just like what it means and the difficulty of thinking and moving long term. Because not only is that just a difficult thing to do, it requires discipline, you know, all that, but it's also just like, it's hard, especially when you're trying to eat. You know what I mean? Like when you're in a general survival mode, like choosing to do something that's clearly not the thing that's working for a lot of people you see working for this idea that you know it's gonna stand out and be different and do better over 10 years from now. Like, just the idea of thinking 10 years from now and that being an actual factor, I feel like that's not even really like I feel like there's an extreme minority of people that can really actually think that far out and take actions now to set their lives up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I'll say this, man, and this is just how it's been, you know, across different industries. It's not, you know, it's not just music, you know, like it has been my experience that historically the people who can chart out 10 years or chart out years, period, you know, into the timeline of their career, those are people who the people before them created something that allows them to do that. You know, like they're the sons and daughters or children of, or, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, where they've, you know, where they can actually, I'll never forget listening to an interview. And Alchemist was like, nah, I never had to, you know, get a job or none of that. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I never had to, you know, deal with the pressure of whether or not I was going to make it as a musician. He was like, nah, like my parents are rich. Yeah. And so when you look at Alchemist 20 years in the game of making grimy ass beats and, you know, whatever, Alchemist never had to sit there and be like, all right, do I just sell out and make the pop giant, you know what I'm saying, or whatever?
Yeah.
Nah, you know, and Alchemist has solidified, like Alchemist is a top 10 legend at this point, you know what I'm saying? You can't deny him, right? But he never had the discomfort of trying to, like, you know, trying to figure that part out, you know, and I feel like, you know, there's different versions of that. It's like your parents. There's like, hey, you know, a label, right? So, you know, ain't no telling, like, big shout out to Soundwave, right? But, like, ain't no telling what kind of producer Soundwave is if Kendrick Lamar never gets signed.
Right.
Right? Kendrick Lamar gets signed, pulls in Soundwave. Now Soundwave can just be Soundwave.
Yeah.
Soundwave don't have to worry about fitting in and trying to get a placement. Like, no, if he just produced for Kendrick Lamar for the rest of his career, he's going to be rich for the rest of his career. You know what I'm saying? And then you have, you know, like, that's something that you see, you know. But then you have the majority of us out here who are like my journey, where it's like, I just made this because it's going to make me some money. I'm hoping to get this check, and then I'm also hoping nobody hears that I made this. You know what I'm saying? Because I am trying to build a brand.
Yeah.
I am trying to build a style, but I do need to pay the rent. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a whole episode. Like
Yeah.
itself.
That literally is.
Yeah, and it's like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to type beat, it's particularly, I feel like this conversation splits dramatically when we're talking about people who want a career in music and people who are just like doing because they love to do it and they want to rap on something. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people who just not trying to be a rapper but love to rap.
Yeah.
You know, and they just pull up a
Real
J.
quick,
Cole
shout out
type
to Nubia in the chat. Big shout out to
Good family.
what I think is Rhiannon.
beat. Yeah.
Yeah, in the chat. Salute. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really speaking towards those people, right? Which is I would say a plus of type beats because like not everything is that serious to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But for like people, you know, most interested in this conversation, I feel like just the grind and the immediacy of being able to make type beats. This is why when it comes to type beats specifically, it's like, you know, some people decide, I'm just make music for commercials, and you know what I'm saying, and that's what it is. Like, and they just go hard on that business. It's a model that they figured out. It works. They get to do what they love, and it is working. How has that affected the culture? I think is the original question. Is the giant. And if more people are making money doing what they love, making music, like to be actually. I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like in the 90s, I feel like in the 90s, it was like, you know, 1/4 of the people able to actually have a career in anything in music. You know what I'm saying? Versus now, like people being able to pay the rent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And part of those people are people doing type beats on YouTube. And, you know.
Yeah. I think that's
is that a net positive for the culture?
I don't know. I think that's a good transition.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. When I'm just thinking about that's why I'm conflicted. I'm just thinking about how many people are like
really just
that love. They say, "Yo, I love music," and then are now able to do it full time,
Rhiannon
part
said,
time.
please make that episode. So, All right. She also said yes, it's her. So, whatever,
yeah, I think that's a good transition into like being that, you know, when you having to pay the bills, rent's due, you know, and you find yourself going through that cycle of repeating or regurgitating what is already out here. Who was that artist, that producer, that sound that like reminded you, like, yo, this is art.
Yeah.
This is why I do this.
Right.
This is why I started this.
I fuck with that. That's
I'm
That's
working
Let's slide through. He just like real shit.
Come a long way.
Shit.
Before we hop into this next topic, I want a big shout out to my G's Coffee Black for the hoodie, but also for sponsoring this amazing studio. All the coffee we drink here is straight from Coffee Black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't really fuck with nothing else at this point. You know what I also realized? Everything else is just fucking burnt.
bro.
Yo,
Like,
big
like
facts.
like it's
Smelling like the tin that it was boiling.
yeah, like it's once you actually know the process, you realize like y'all are just burning the shit out of these beans. Like this is a different approach to this.
And I
But-
think that's why I never really fucked with coffee. But,
Yeah.
like, and I'm not even gonna lie. Like seeing Coffee Black in his process and hearing him speak about it, it would make me try it. Like just because like he's really, you can tell he really loves this
You're
shit.
like, damn.
Bro, it's a science.
It just make you curious. Like, all right, what's
Yeah,
this about?
exactly.
Yeah, like you that in tune with it.
Bro,
for
I
real,
love
for
it.
real.
I love it.
It's amazing.
For coffee?
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
man. What
Let's do it.
what artist, what song, what producer just reminded you like this is what I love to do.
Man, it's not just one, bro.
Right.
Like
I was
I
just
have
gonna
so
say, I
many
can't-
of
yeah.
those moments that one of the things Matt said when I was a younger kid maestro
Kidrick,
younger.
Kidrick Lemaestro.
Younger.
was we just in a conversation. I don't really know why we was talking about this, but just in a conversation in the context of inspiration, he likened it to taking a shower, and you just can't take a shower once.
Wait, your face.
You can't take a shower once and expect that to last you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You gotta consistently shower, and inspiration works the same way.
Yeah.
And so
That's right.
that's why I say it's not. I've had so many of those moments, but just because where we at, you know what I'm saying? I gotta shout out Mono Neon, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
I would be listening to a Mono Neon joint and be like, this man is so free.
I'm telling you.
Like he's so free, and it's like. This is what it's supposed to feel like. The feeling, whatever he had that he put into it, I can feel it, and it's resonating with a part of me that.
I'm sorry.
Y'all wild.
Y'all out here. Rhiannon loves Kidrick, by the way. She said it's crazy, which means that it is ultimate support for me saying that. So it's Kidrick La Maestro. You know what I'm saying?
Funny enough, my name, my government name is Keenan Hardin II.
Yeah.
Or Keenan Robert Hardin II. And I'm named after my dad.
Yeah.
But before I was born, my parents decided my name was going to be Nathan Lamar.
Nathan Lamar.
What?
That's
Hey, you gotta make a project.
yo, that's it. That's what we calling you from now on, man. Nathan Lamar, man. NL Chopper, man.
NL Chopper. Nathan Lamar Hardin. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Nathan Lamar.
I'm looking at you like I cannot picture you Nathan, bro.
I'm not really a Nathan. Type,
Hey, yo,
type
if he was actually Nathan, he wouldn't have made it into Unapologetic.
That was it. Can't do that shit.
Yeah, Nathan. Yeah, it was
That's wild.
interesting.
But yeah.
But nah, let me think. Man, I mean, I got to tell this story because I feel like this is a very fitting story. So, when I was 19, I was in Orlando for a few years as I started college down there, and I remember playing my music for this DJ named Santiago Skills, and he was like him and his partner. They were like at UCF, they were like the DJs. You know what I'm saying? They did all like the hip hop parties and all that stuff or whatever. And I remember just playing my beats for him, and he was like, "Man, I really like these, these beats, but they're just like music. They're not really for like anybody to rap or sing on them. You know what I'm saying?"
What?
And he was a few years older than me at the time, and I just remember being kind of like, "Damn, fam, like." All right, like, cause in my mind I can hear somebody rapping over him, you know what I'm saying? But, he was just like, nah, like you gotta do this and do that and blah blah blah, and I just remember being kind of like, all right, bet I need to learn the art of like making a beat, you know what I'm saying, versus just making music, right? And because what his criticism made some sense because. Really, all I really wanted to do as a kid was score movies. Like that was like the real like, oh man, I really loved like all of my favorite even stuff that on my dad's records. They were like movie scores. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Superfly, like you know what I'm saying? Beverly Hills Cop. You know what I'm saying? Like he had all that stuff on vinyl. And so I took the criticism. I spent years trying to learn how to do that, and I think I got pretty good at it. But I just remember, like, a handful of years later, discovering Flying Lotus. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, this man don't care about no rapper or singer, you know what I'm saying? Like, this man just out here making scores. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just was like, I was so mad at myself for like, why did I listen to this dude?
Mm.
You know, I was like, but I didn't have nobody around to say the kinds of things I would have said to y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm not going to try to change you. I'm going to see where you want to go, and then I'm going to try to help you get there.
Mm-hmm.
I was around people who were trying to change me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was mad at myself, man. I was mad at myself because I was just like, man, why I let this dude who don't really... I'm gonna fall back. Why I let this dude change who I was and, you know, and where I was trying to go, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and so it's impossible for me to answer that question without mentioning Flying Lotus because, like he was one of the first artists that truly let me know, like, I can be as free as I originally wanted to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, like, I can't, especially after working with him for so long, I can't not mention Mono Neon. I'll just say this, man. Like, it's extremely hard to find an artist that's more an artist than Mono Neon. Like, like I'm not even talking about the albums. I'm not talking about the music. I'm not talking about the brand. I'm talking about, like, that dude is like 1% human being and 99% artist.
Yep.
Like, everything about his life is that of an artist. You know what I'm saying? And that is an extreme freedom of his. Like, when I tell people I want to be him when I grow up, even though I'm older than him, what I'm saying is that, like, the ratio of, like, the way he set up his life to allow experimentation in everything is amazing to me. I admire it so much. Like, you know, and just like with some artists, it's the thing that they created that reminds you to be an artist. And then you got some artists where it's like they could blink their eyes. And it's like, fuck.
It's just who they are.
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's Mono Neon. So, yeah.
Yeah. Before we continue, just want to shout it out because it's cool. Miss Hill said, shout out to all the listeners out there on Type Beat. She called, but I just want to know
Big shout out, Miss Lauren Hill. Shout out to Type Beat and all the listeners. If you in the chat right now, Lauren Hill just gave you a shout out. You know what I'm saying? You should feel incredibly special. Such a legend just shouted you out.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so y'all stay tuned and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. You know, that's the first time I ever said that. Have I ever said that here before?
No.
This is a magical moment. Hit the like and subscribe. Fuck with us on the algorithm type shit. Leave us a comment. You know what I'm saying?
Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Do we got super chats yet?
Nah, we ain't got none of that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I agree, man. Mine is also Flying Lotus, and I felt like we was gonna cross paths with that.
I had to not say that, bro.
Yeah, bro. He's just one of them ones. It was honestly hearing my first experience of hearing like Flying Lotus was the Kendrick Lamar joint that he did. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I wasn't on it.
Oh, you talking about the
I didn't
Never
know
Catch
anything.
Me, John?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
But even that's still wild. But
It's wild as long as he's been doing it. But it's wild as long as he's been doing it. But like I've never heard of Flying Lotus until that. When I heard that song, like, bro, who the fuck is this? Because I've never heard any like rapper rap over something like that at that time. So I was like, bro, I need to find out who this is, and I just went like down a rabbit hole, and he was the one. I was like, nah, this nigga's different. Like, he was the one that made me like, okay, it's art. Like, because you fall into that. I know for me, throughout my whole journey, like, of course, like we were just talking about, you trying to find ways to turn this into a career.
Yeah.
And the most obvious one, I know for me at the time, was the producer artist type of thing.
Right.
Not even just on some like major hits, but just like creating songs and stuff like that. And that was like my format, because again, I wanted to work with artists. And I was like, man was saying, I was always told I'm doing too much, gotta leave space and this and that. And I fell into that path, and then like hearing that song, I was like, nah, this okay, this is
You know what? Okay, hold on, man. Hold on. And this, you know what? It's been a minute since I had the Mad Beats rant, fam. Y'all ready? It's been a minute, but we about to do that, man. All right, so there's the leave the beat open with a whole bunch of space and blah blah blah, right? Then there's the beat that's music, right? It's instrumental. It's not meant for a vocal at all. Mm-hmm. It's meant to just be an experience, right? Okay, but let's be real. There is also something in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. There's something in the middle. It just requires you to find a Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Every one of them instrumentals off To Pimp a Butterfly could have been an instrumental album.
Facts.
Literally.
That's a fact.
Every single one of them. Then none of them motherfuckers leaves. Nigga, Kendrick Lamar was just Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
And so...
Very true.
See?
He ready.
That's
very
real.
True, very true.
That's real. And so this is why, you know what I'm saying? Like it made me particularly picky with who I work with because I realized I don't have to choose these polar worlds.
Yeah. That's right.
I don't have to make a beat with 4 tracks, you know what I'm saying? Or go ham in this extremely experimental track. I can actually, you know what I'm saying, make something that's exactly me, right? The way I want it to be, and have all the layers and intricacies that I want. And there's an artist out there who knows how to fuck with it. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be selective. You got to go and find this person. But when you do, you end up making a To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You end up making something that is special, unique, and has a depth to it that's going to scare the shit out of everybody else trying to compete. And here's the craziest thing about it. Is so many rappers want to make a To Pimp a Butterfly with a beat that sound like this. They be intimidated as fuck by the fact, by instrumentation. I've seen it. I've literally had artists, not fuck seen it. I've been through it. I've literally had artists come to me and be like, yo, this beat is so amazing, I don't know if I should rap on it. What are you talking about?
Man, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be like, nah, man, because it's I want something simpler where it's clear that I'm the best thing on it. You know what I'm saying? It's well, fuck. You afraid of the chord progression?
Yeah.
You afraid of getting outshined by the sax?
We need to put that on the shirt.
Damn.
They gotta be.
Man, and that's what I'm saying. But you gotta find a Kendrick Lamar who is bet. That's the perfect chord progression to match what the fuck I'm about to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And on the other side, bro, it's the artists that intimidated, but then it's people that don't know how to produce, bruh. Make a beat, make that shit what you feel. You know what I'm saying? You find that artist, bruh. When y'all start putting that song together, it's a new creation. Learn how to arrange the shit. Learn how to make space for the artist in the mix. You know what I'm saying? EQ it. Right? That piano now that there's a vocal there, that piano could be there. Just put it to the side.
Hold on, you know what? I'm about to give y'all niggas some jewels. I'm about to give y'all some real game right quick, bro. I'm about to give y'all some real game. No beat, nothing you create is too complicated, right? If you arrange left to right, right? If you're building up and down, you absolutely can run into that problem, right? But if you arrange left to right, aka tell a story over time, right? Man, you can truly go through the journey of musicianship that you want in a song, right? But you got to be willing to have some things planned and other things not planned at a certain time. You got to tell a story. The music has to travel, right? But like Kid said, I often find a lot of people's issue when it comes to being the producer in these types of scenarios and actually, trying to accomplish this, and I'm not the guy saying every beat maker or producer has to be a mixing engineer, but it sure as fuck helps. It sure as fuck helps, right? When you know how to create space, keep the melodies and vibes there, but not so that everything feels so crowded, right? And that's the thing. That's when I realized there is a middle ground here. But it does take a certain skill set on the production side, and it takes a certain kind of artist who's not afraid of being outshined by the music. Who knows how to match the endeavors that is the music. If you have a very simple rapper, that's the thing. The music can be complex because Kendrick Lamar is complex. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If Kendrick Lamar was, and I like him, you know what I'm saying? But if Kendrick Lamar was Larry June, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. You know, I'm just here to tell y'all, like, specifically for the producers out there, like, you know, if you find yourself leaning to these more like intricate experiences of productions, that don't mean that, like, you just got to find the right artist.
Yeah.
You just got to find the right artist, man. I promise you, you will find that right artist, and it's a game changer.
Yeah, and don't be like, and so this goes back to kind of like that whole trying to build something, trying to eat conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, when artists reach out to you, right? The idea is that you're at a level where an artist is reaching out to you for your sound, and you fuck with what they do, and you can see a new crazy collaboration that works, right? But sometimes you at a point where somebody's reaching out to you because you have a skill set, but they're not necessarily reaching out to you because of your sound. It's because you have a skill set, and then you have to make those choices, right? Because now you're basically being paid to say, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? If that's not what you do, it's just a delicate balance. And sometimes all over the journey over time, part of that balance is turning down some of that. So you can then make space, right, for the artist that you want. That's going to require more work for you to go out to find this person. You going to have to be the one to reach out, which means maybe you're not getting paid for that one. You know what I'm saying? But that's building your sound so the people that do reach out to you are the right people. That's you know, because they hear somebody that can do what they're supposed to do on your beat.
I'm going to tell you, and this is why. Hold on. You're absolutely correct, right? And this is why Jay Dilla is a cheat code. Right? Jay Dilla taught everyone how to rap on Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla can be doing the craziest stuff in beats, you know what I'm saying? But because he also rapped, he taught y'all how to be on his beats. You know what I'm saying? Like when Tribe Called Quest first heard Jay Dilla, they didn't just hear Jay Dilla, they heard Slum Village.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, artists that also rap or sing, and this is why producers that also rap and or sing, like, those are some of the most dangerous, right? Like, okay, so what's my man, Iman?
Omari?
Yeah, Iman Omari. That's a dangerous man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a dangerous dude, right? Because he's doing crazy stuff on the production side of things, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time telling you what you're supposed to do to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's giving you a whole vibe of a package, you know, pause, by just making a song, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, okay, you want to buy into that.
Yeah.
You know, producers that rap or sing or, you know, or any kind of vocals at the same time, dangerous, bro. Dangerous people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Unique. That's we talking about Unique right now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
But not well. You special all together, because not only will you make the beat, write the song, you'll make your whole outfit and do your
Create the whole
it's everything. Like,
Literally. You know what? Speaking of that, I literally scrolled down my Instagram and noticed that everything that I've ever worn, every picture that's on there, I made that junk, except for like 3 jackets.
that's crazy.
That's a flex.
Bro.
That shit's crazy as fuck.
Clap it up, man.
Yeah.
Clap it up. Clapping it up,
That's
man.
fire.
That's a flex.
Let's get it, man.
Crazy.
One more time, I just want to shout everybody out in the chat that was shouted out by Miss Lauryn Hill, man. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Like, y'all was specifically shouted out. I have no proof, but perhaps she actually checked in to see who's popping and then decided to shout y'all out.
Is
You know
there
what I'm
any
saying?
like sensitive information?
Right, gotta be careful.
You know what I'm saying? We got the shout out.
Oh, hold on. We on that camera? Okay, all right. Yeah.
Shout out to
Nah, that's way too bright, my G. He's way too bright. So
Like,
okay, y'all
right
have to believe my G Kid Michael. He a trustworthy dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, period.
Anyway,
Yeah, man.
Character
So,
over
look.
everything, bro. I got integrity.
I
Just
know that's right.
believe me.
I know that's right.
Kendrick Lamaestro is worth believing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Bro, I feel like, man, if we have like any up and coming producers or beat makers that's trying to convert over to producers, bro, it was so many gems just shared, like, just within that discussion
Yeah.
of just how to like navigate within that.
Bro, one thing I wanted to mention too is just that, like, and this is where, like, I got to shout out on, you know, in terms of like people close to me, I got to shout out my my cousin Ivan, and I gotta shout out Mad for this reason. Part of like guys like Flying Lotus was one of those artists for me.
Damn.
Knowledge,
Yeah.
Madlib, and the reason these people like were influences for me is because like sometimes it's like Mad, what you said, it's just the person, like who they are inspire you, right? Sometimes it's what they create resonates with you, but sometimes it's that you create something and it's received well, like you have done what was necessary or amassed an audience, you have a fan base, and you're an example of like, oh, you're not only doing what I love, but this is a lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are people that appreciate you, and therefore I know there's people that can appreciate me. You know what I'm saying? If I get to that level, or if I put in the work, or if I, just do what's necessary to get in front of those people. Like there's a lane, and I think that's incredibly important. Going back to the type B conversation, there is a clear market for that, right? There are success stories. When there are success stories for success, you know what I mean? When there's success stories for Burgley.
Real
That's
burglary.
a joke. When there are success stories of people who are going against the grain, right? Yeah. When they're the MF Dooms of the world, or at a time Kendrick Lamar, like when these people have success, like that also inspires you to be like, yo, I can do this, and I don't have to conform to what I thought I had to conform to. Like this is a person that did make their own lane, and it's working, and that's also a part of it. So I just got to shout out to people who not only make inspirational things, but also have done what was necessary to find success
and live
in it, and be the example.
That's why I like my inspiration when I started like actually doing music that I really felt good about doing was Hiatus Coyote by Fire and Thundercat, Dragon Ball Durag. Yeah, but
Man, hit that jump.
and
Man, practice that before you came here.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, of course we all know, and if anybody else know, Hiatus Coyote by Fire is one of the most fire songs that in my opinion, that they've ever composed.
I think that's ever been made.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of ridiculous.
But also Thundercat. I like Thundercat not only because of how well he plays the guitar, but how free he was in his music and in what he said. It was the It Is What It Is album for me, and the one before that. And also I do have to add in Mono Neon, because Hot Cheetos, like, it made me realize there are all kinds of creative ways to speak to common emotions. This nigga was talking about, let's go to a corner store and get some Hot Cheetos. Just on some together shit. But the beat was groovy. It felt good. Like, I was like, damn, I want to go to the store and get me some Hot Cheetos now. Just cause, you know what I'm saying? And in the back of my mind, just playing a song in my head, like, I may meet somebody cute up there, or I may get to help somebody, or just anything could happen, but it's just the fact, let's go take a ride in my favorite ghetto. But yeah, y'all need to go get the song. If y'all haven't heard it, go get Hot Cheetos.
Bruh, you know who did the drums on that?
Oh. Man.
Yeah.
You lying. Y'all snapped on that motherfucker. I ain't lying. I promise you, Ashton loved that song for a whole year. Shout out to my son.
Bruh, I feel like that song,
Yo.
I don't know. I think that was like a turning point in Mono's, like, that was a milestone. That was something changed there. He was already going where he's going, but something changed. And I just feel like niggas do not know that you are a part of that. That moment.
I did not. And forgive me for being naive about that.
Nah, I mean, I think
that's crazy.
First of all, I don't know. I'm gonna say this. I I don't know, bro. Like with him, man, and just with most of the people that I like, just really love. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
sometimes I be forgetting to look at the things we created as like marketing or business. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think back to that song, I just think about the fun
Right.
that I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I be
It
forgetting to be
sounded
like, oh
fun.
yeah, I co-produced this song. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't. I just don't. I don't think that way about you know, like these kinds of things. But no. But I honestly think I think Hot Cheeto. I agree with you, kid. I do think Hot Cheetos was a turning point in his career. But I think Hot Cheetos was kind of like the fruit of the tree of like going from a like or I honestly just feel like just being around more people who thought like him. You know what I'm saying? Who moved freely.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think, you know, him coming around in them early days, which is how Hot Cheetos even happened, but him coming around and like y'all saying some stuff I don't even want to repeat, like in a random room and, you know, and just how crazy the studio was and how creative everybody was moving at the time. You know, like that's the vibe that's literally when, you know, that collaboration happened. And so I often think that like that time, you know, and that was post Prince as well, right? So he had a new sense of like identity, because you know, Mono Neon pre Prince was a little bit different than Mono Neon post Prince. I think post Prince, he had an idea up close of what freedom looked like. You know, yeah.
Bro, all right, I know we gotta go on to the next topic, but I have to speak on this. Like, Mono Neon, and I think this is what he learned from Prince, but this is what I'm learning from him, right? Is that, you know, we just talked about like this idea of type beat, and when you use like that Kendrick Lamar example, like, you know what I'm saying, just that story mostly looks like this. You want to do something a little bit more experimental, a little bit more expressive or more complex, but your circumstances or the opportunities that immediately present themselves push you towards having to choose between that, what you want to do, and making something simple, right? Or common. Mono Neon almost is doing the opposite, where like his identity was steeped in extreme avant-garde, the most microtonal, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he felt like he had to like stay within that, like doing something that was just groovy and funky or bluesy because he's from Memphis, like the home of the blues. That was wrong. Like he didn't have the freedom to express that side, right? But I feel like Prince showed him that real freedom is the ability to do all of that, right? With your name on it, because it comes from you, right? And if you do it authentically, that's what makes your own sound, and it opens up everything. So on any given day, Mono Neon can just be playing, you know, some crazy
Anything,
stuff, right? And then
literally.
go into the most groovy shit ever that he wrote that everybody can sing along to. And go back and forth. Like, to me, that's true freedom. So it's freedom doesn't just look like everybody doing, you know, basic, you know, beats and you want to do complex. It's the other way around too. Like, if you're a jazz musician and you want to make this, like, you can, because that's real freedom. And I love Mono Neon for that, because he truly expresses and took the risk to do the whole range. You know what I mean? Of whatever was authentically him in the moment.
And I think that's important to really speak on, like, and that's just life, but more so just in this journey, like, the more you, and we speak on, be authentic to who you are, like, the world opens up and create, you know, it gives you your path. And you just got to trust it. It ain't always pretty, but legit, like, everybody that's out here really doing big shit on their own time, and then, like, legends in their, you know, department or whatever, in their field, like, they move that way. And I wouldn't be able to, like, me, just like we all shout out Mono, I gotta shout out to Big Homie Mad. Like, the TED Talk. The way he approached it, like we all hear these talks of motivation and inspire you and stuff like that, but it was just the way he approached it, and then to leave like where someone's waiting on you to be you, like that's real shit. And you have to live in that moment. It's scary as hell, but man, the payoff. I mean, we see it every day. The people that we look up to, they also had to go down their journey.
Yeah, but speaking of looking up to people though, like why are the only people we have to look up to nowadays are pretty much being sexualized? Or like,
we
y'all
doing this?
I'm really trying to come.
Okay. All right, we back. You know what I'm saying? All right, we back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? One more time, I want to shout out. Go ahead and download that Unapologetic World app after this broadcast, because right now you need to stay tuned with us. Unapologetic World app available for iOS and Android devices. Big shout out Coffee Black, sponsor for the studio. Yeah. So we got one last topic on deck. What we talking about, bro?
Man, just hip hop music and the journey, and now being like represented on the
Rihanna said it's Illuminati. My bad, go ahead.
that is grown to the point where it's being heard on the political stage. Again, we spoke on like throughout the whole Kendrick and Drake, those songs were being played during the campaign. Like you got Trump walking out to 50 Cent, bro. Like it's
that was real.
Really happen?
That was real.
Yes, that was a real thing. That really happened. Yeah.
It's just a lot, bro.
No,
I thought that was just
He walked out
literally
Many Men.
Many Men.
He didn't. That was a meme, bro.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
that
If
really
Go back
happened.
to that. No, it wasn't.
If it was, either way, I know for
The
sure.
audio was too open. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounded like the
I've definitely
auditorium.
seen.
Wish death button.
I'm definitely he's taking advantage of that moment. Like
He really did though.
He's running with it.
Like he really did.
True or not, I know I've heard.
Yeah.
Really yo, everybody in the chat.
Let us
That
know,
really
man. Let us
happened,
know.
bro? Did he really roll
fact
out?
check.
Yeah, somebody do the Googles right quick. Man. Let us
I'm
know.
telling
True
you.
or not, I know for a fact I've heard like the Not Like Us being played
Yeah, Not Like Us,
on
whatever.
news stations, talking about like the politics, like the fact that it's part of the conversation now.
Yeah.
And I know to the point where now we got Meg performing.
I feel like I need to see this performance.
Bro,
I didn't
she
watch
was
it.
in a blazer
Yo, matter of fact, let me pull it up, fam.
with a cut off
pull it
with
up,
a
man.
cut off button down and a tie,
pull it
showing
up.
all of this,
Oh, man.
doing this
Yo, I was just watching this dude.
on the
Watching that
fucking
video.
stage. What the fuck?
Bro, hold on, man. Look,
Yeah, that day.
niggas really they be studying
yes.
bro.
Sorry, y'all. We gotta stay on topic.
As a campaign,
Okay.
that's what we doing. That's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Blue and white.
We treated this campaign like the Super Bowl.
Wait a minute now.
Bro,
Yes.
this is real.
This is America.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see like the depth of this suggestion. I mean, it's not wild to have the latest pop.
And I'm a fan of Meg.
Artists, supporting.
But
I'm just trying to see how suggestive does it get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
She turned up, started twerking.
I'm not gonna lie. This is very vanilla right now.
Yeah. It's not that wild. They just did a little twerk jump right there, though.
they couldn't get Beyonce.
So
what is
That's
the
the
same
soundtrack. Yeah, they probably did the exact same job.
They couldn't get Rhapsody.
Beyonce probably lined up for like October the 20-something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They could have got
She
Rhapsody.
just did Olympic stuff, I think.
They could have got my girl Rhapsody.
But Rhapsody ain't turning as many heads.
Right.
And that's the thing.
You know what
They're
I'm
trying to get the young votes. They're trying to get the
Yeah.
women votes more so. Like that's y'all. That's
Yeah.
Rhapsody
And I
for
don't
the
know-
women.
And I don't know if Rhapsody.
Women do not know Rhapsody.
Yeah, I'm saying.
fact. Certain one.
Okay.
Here we
So
go.
that was
Here we go.
that was extremely less. That was way less sexual than I thought.
Yeah.
Then you made it seem.
Y'all ain't see the whole thing. Y'all ain't see the body yaddy yaddy jump.
I just watched. Look,
mean,
what
That
I
was a
just
clip.
what I'm saying.
That was
the
20 seconds.
the first what I saw. So I didn't see the whole thing. I guess if that's not the whole thing, but
And then
Yeah.
Quavo.
I thought she didn't even have pants on. Like
You
just
thought
the way
she
you was
out
just
here
the way you was
ass
talking.
out, just,
You ain't hear the audio.
Okay, so all right. But I got two things though.
That's what we doing at the US of A.
at the US of A.
All right.
Like,
Okay.
and Kamala's like, hi, yes. Twerking for the USA.
She's
Twerking
so
for
much
votes.
taller than her.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
like, bro,
I mean, she's a
she's
stallion, bro. That's the thing, you know.
exactly. I'm
got
like,
the name
damn,
for a
how tall
reason.
is Kamala? I think Megan's like 6 feet though.
Yeah,
right?
she's
Nah,
Yeah.
she's only like 5'7".
Nah,
Or no, like she like
damn.
5.
I'm finna say at least 5'9",
5'10" or something like that, yeah.
She say,
And I'm a big fan of Meg, but I'm just like,
Okay. So I got a couple thoughts on this.
is that all we have to do to get some votes?
Hold on. Well, please stop because
She said, please stop.
it's so much to process right now.
You ain't even see Quavo
It's-
up there in Edward Scissorhands suit.
It's so much to process. Like, okay, first of all, because this is a lot, so I'm gonna just start with this. I'm gonna start with this, bro. Matt, how many times have organizations asked us to perform, and then we just check and be like, "Oh, is profanity allowed?" And they know we need family friendly,
Yeah,
and they asking off them
yeah,
to get up on
that's
stage.
crazy.
yeah. 6 trillion times.
Yo,
But often
so no, hold on. But often be saying some
Often
crazy
is so-
stuff.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He definitely not saying,
Whole heads
like
and be-
exactly, bruh. Which is that type of vibe. It's not a family friendly vibe. Like there's been so many times we've been asked to perform at parks and stuff with kids, and they want, our most vulgar artists.
Yeah,
They want us. We claim we proclaim being unapologetically yourself. That's our mission, right?
Yeah.
And people say they in line with that, but when we come and they ask us to be a part of that, to bring what that message has
right.
garnered us, right? When they want that to be a part of what they got going on, they don't want us to be unapologetically themselves, either because A, they don't mean that,
Yeah.
right? Or they didn't do their research.
Right.
I can't imagine, like, I'm just, if this is truly a problem, and now we're gonna get into what I saw, but if let's say she had did the craziest, like she just did what she would do on tour.
yeah.
If that was, because when we seen footage of her tour shows, if she had did that on that stage, my biggest disappointment would first be to whoever organized that event and booked her. Because they know who Megan Thee Stallion is. They know the type of music she does. They know what her shows look like. This is extremely public information, right? So
You still not
to
disappointed?
to show up, to even book that artist, right? It just reminds me of all the times that people have tried to bring us on to stuff and then don't leave the space for us to do what we do.
And
the
this-
reason that they asking us to be on the
Yeah.
stage in the first
Yeah.
place.
And then sometimes we just say fuck it and do what we do.
That part.
And then
Can
some
you
people
feel
have
it?
problems.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but you knew who we were
Right.
Yeah.
when you booked us.
Absolutely.
So when I come up being authentically myself, right, and that don't align with your brand or vision or
Yeah.
goals,
Yep.
right, that is your problem.
Yeah.
That is your fault first and foremost. Now, then we got into this whole situation of like,
You said now.
now let's go into what I saw was pretty vanilla in my opinion. But let's just say she did what she would do at a show. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she dressed like she would dress at a Meg Thee Stallion tour concert. You know what I'm saying? And did
Wouldn't have been
the
with the
full
long-ass
on the
pants.
ground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
dance breaks. If she had did that, the
Make
other
sure be breakdancing.
Well, I'm saying the dance break. The dance break. You know what I'm saying?
I got what you said.
If she had performed WAP, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
If she had performed WAP and did the choreography from the video.
Bro, you ain't heard the whole thing.
I didn't. I just saw what I saw. If she had performed WAP and did what she did in the video and wore that.
Hold on, are you saying that she performed WAP? Is that what you said?
I don't know, but I
You ain't heard the whole video. Anyway.
Oh man, I thought she was gonna come with some.
I heard Body Yaddy.
Okay.
I heard
Nah, kid got to get these points off.
Yeah. Okay. So if she had did WAP and did the whole WAP dance routine
just saying.
on that stage, right at this rally, my second level of accountability is I think that was poor judgment as her as a performer. Like when we get asked to do these things, right? Let's, for what we still like, Pro is a good example. Pro is an artist where you can ask him to do some family-friendly junts because he has family-friendly songs in his catalog, but he also has not family-friendly songs in his catalog. So it is now our discernment, right?
Yeah.
When we agree to do this thing, to understand the context of this situation and choose our set lists accordingly.
Yeah.
Right? For something we agreed to do. It's hard to imagine, given the stakes of what is happening in this country, not even just like, because part of this presidential campaign.
Big shout out everybody in the chat on IG, man. Clock in with us.
Part of this presidential campaign is obviously an anti-Trump campaign.
Yeah.
There is a part of it that is like, we're about to have the first, woman of color in the presidential office. You know what I'm saying? As the president. This is a moment. And the other part of it is that like black people have consistently, we have a PR issue. You know what I'm saying? Where like our voices, and this is another topic. This is deep, y'all. Yeah. But where our voices are constantly being, disrespected just by how we are represented, right? I'm not saying it's fair, but it is the world we live in, right? With that as an artist, you have to understand that, right? Now, again, she only got so many songs, so like, you know what I mean? She gonna perform what she performed.
She only performed Mamushi and Body.
Okay, these are some of her biggest songs. She probably only had 3 songs to perform. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She probably only had 2 jumps. Which jumps is she going to perform?
Real quick.
You know what I'm saying?
Dino Starseed says, why we always got to cross over? Why they never cross over to us? Eddie Kang Jr.
Eddie Kang.
I mean.
Nice like this. I wish.
Bro.
Nice like this. What rendition is that?
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Then Unique, there's what we saw. Bro, she was not going, bro, like, now, if we talking about compared to, like, the 60s and 70s, like, maybe that performance was a bit risque. But compared to today's standard of what, like, raunchy is, that was sorority at best.
Okay, I get that. And that's why I took my shit back. My bad, man, because I love you forever. But I understand, if they put Sexy Red or somebody like that up there, then.
She was extremely close comparatively to where
Sexy Red definitely wasn't going to switch it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sexy Red was going to be.
But again, switch it up to what? What songs does she have out?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that.
What is the name of your clothing line?
I agree. And I mean, and that's who's gonna.
I am not you. I am me. I see you.
I am me.
Let's get it.
Alexis coming through with the often quotable.
Exactly. I do feel like it was tasteful. For what I just saw, that was my first time seeing the snippet. Okay. Now the general.
You will be putting the extra D pause at the end of your name, my G.
Wait a minute.
It's just a way. Why do people stylize it like that? It's just KID, but it's cool. I understand. I appreciate the shout out.
Yeah, it's all love. Shout out Alexis. You know what I'm saying?
KIDD. You know what I mean?
Kid the Maestro.
Kid the Maestro. Hard D, pause. Anyway.
Come on, man. Yo, that's how you say the end of the podcast. Man. Like, come on,
Okay, but all right, now rap in general, in politics. First of all, I feel like we got to talk about the history, bro. We had mad KRS-One niggas that's been talking about the stuff that's happening politically. Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
But that was the culture.
Yeah,
culture.
that's what this shit started on. All the way to fuck the police. Now, just the culture has switched it to now we are the new pop culture. Every presidential campaign has always used pop culture to appeal to people, right?
Now they use
That's just where hip hop is.
Bro.
Everybody listens to hip hop.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
And that's,
Literally.
and I think that for me, like, I understand the women like feeling
The
away
lyrical
good
miracles.
or bad. That's crazy. But like,
what is that?
it's the I think for me it's the pride and like kind of excitement of the fact that like we're at this level now.
Yeah.
You know, like hip hop has come this far in
Yeah.
such a short amount of time.
But it's come this far. But this is this is my problem with it. The problem with it's come this far without the respect. It's only the exploitation.
okay.
It seems like.
I got you.
Like
I got you.
You know, if Justin Bieber, whoever was up there, like these world-renowned pop stars, you know, from, you know, if it could have been Paul McCartney at one point to probably Michael Jackson, right? But now it's Meg Thee Stallion, right? But for some reason, it's not that same.
Man, he said Paul McCartney. What's up, man? You know the history of music, though.
But it's not that same respect. Like,
I would have been.
you know what I'm saying? Because it's black
Rhapsody
people.
or
That's
somebody
the
up
thing.
there.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that's getting me with this. Like,
I would have loved to see my girl Rhapsody, or at least like somebody like Queen Latifah, somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be.
You Republicans, who you calling a bitch?
Like,
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel
You
like,
know.
and this is probably some internalized like self-hate on some like internalized racism or whatever. But like, I feel like even if they would have got Rhapsody or somebody, you know what I'm saying, like that, I kind of feel like in me, it would have been a part of me that would have still felt like, man, we out here getting exploited. Like,
word.
I think there's a part of me that feels that way because just the whole everything around it just seems like that's just our history. I just feel like that's the way we get used. Like,
I agree.
from
From
you know,
our
from
history.
Elvis, and like we just get used
Well,
for
yeah.
shit.
And I
Like,
think, but
you know
I
what
think
I'm
you
saying?
feel that way because
I understand.
because
that too.
in most of these situations, these folks ain't really tapped into the culture. So you have no
They
choice but
claim
to feel
to be
that.
tapped. People claim to be tapped into
They
the
not,
culture,
because if
but
folks-
not because of social media and what they eat.
Dino Star Seed says, if it wasn't for the Vote or Die campaign, Obama would not have been elected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Big shout out everybody chiming in.
This is another conversation because I understand this part of it, but maybe there's some things I don't know. So y'all can chime in. Are we all aware that our vote doesn't directly elect the president?
Nigga, bro.
And the chosen electoral college voters
From
for
other
our states, they are appointed. I don't think we vote for them, and they do not have
Talk
to
about
vote in line with the state
Talk about
that they represent.
The president doesn't even have that much power.
So for a
if we
claim
do
that the vote or die campaign for Obama, I'm not sure that we even really elected him. So like,
the House
I don't know.
Hold on, bro.
Representatives elected him.
Hey, you kind of going in right now.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? All my Illuminati dudes, that's him. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm trying to build a business. I ain't got nothing to do.
But
You know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
you,
That's his
though.
opinion. He's a guest for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
This has become
Anyway,
a kid
y'all,
show.
let's continue on.
Is that a spike?
I'm just saying, like, and I think that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? I wish the popular vote elected the president. I think that makes the most sense. We are a representative. We are democratic republic, right? A representative democracy,
Yeah.
right? Where our elected officials are for the people of the people, but we also have representatives that make decisions on our behalf,
Yeah.
right? And right now, the way that things are, there are people that vote on our behalf.
Rihanna said we need a meme of kid with the kufi and laser eyes. Bro. Man,
Pass me that cup real quick.
that is
Right
hilarious.
here. Pass me.
Hey, yo, somebody out there chiming in right now. Go ahead and set us up with that meme, bro. You know what I'm saying? Use some AI or something, man. Send that through.
Yeah. So anyway, what are we talking about as a whole?
I don't even know, man.
Loud and heated, bro.
Yeah, man. You was out here. I had to let you live, man. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
Pause, I got
This is real.
He got loud and heated. I don't know about that one. But
Never mind.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have an opinion on this.
I had an opinion, but
Yeah.
I still have an opinion. Of course, you know, my girl ain't really that known yet, but it would have been nice to, like, not hear my mushi or body yada yada. Like, is that what USA's women are, you know, being represented as? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like,
I feel you, but what my thing is, even with that statement, like
that's what
y'all
the
accept,
majority
that's
of
what y'all
women
push.
listen to.
That's what y'all protect.
No,
Like the freedom, like we were just talking about, like.
But who's protecting the woman though? Like genuinely.
But I mean,
who's
but what
the like we're gonna go into a whole different conversation.
I guess what I'm saying is like y'all voice has become like loud to the point where these freedoms that you all wanted, like they're here.
What
and-
freedom?
We're talking about Meg performing.
Okay, I'll give you that, but
But that's what I'm saying. She's performing songs like we know what Meg talks about.
Look who they I guess that's my problem is who they chose.
But this is
like I'm
okay.
happy for the fact that a woman is up there, you know, performing in her artistry, but my problem is like if we as women, if Kamala is a woman trying to fight for women's rights and all of this other stuff, like why are we still sexualizing even on the stage? Like why not bring somebody that has some substance? Not saying that Meg has no substance, she just has a different kind of substance.
Oh, real quick. Chiming in. Rihanna said, I feel you too, girl.
Yeah.
You heard how I delivered that. She
I
said,
appreciate
I feel you too, girl. But I think we're expecting too much.
You right.
They're trying to get votes, not inspire or protect.
Ain't that unfortunate though?
I mean, that's
but America is for us though, right? They're for the people, right?
never been.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
us.
Like that's some bullshit.
not for us, but I get what you're saying.
Moving
And
to Spain.
and it's what I'm saying is like the larger amount of like the community of women, at least from what I see. I'm not a woman. You're a woman, so I can never, you know. But from what I see, like this is the fight that you all been fighting.
Right.
For your body, your freedom to have, you know, this freedom to what was it?
It was
the
the
whole nipple
abortion
campaign.
thing that.
Not just that. The whole
We only been there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like the
Yeah.
free the nip. That was a whole campaign. Like at one point, women were the ones that would stand on the front for like and speaking about these
the
things.
idea
But
is that
now,
I think part of the idea is that like if Meg shows up wearing whatever she's wearing, that's not supposed to be viewed as degrading, right? Like that. That's the whole thing that she should be seen and respected as a performer just the same as any man wearing whatever a man would wear. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the idea.
I get that and I respect that. But I'm just saying, for me as a mother, as an auntie, as a sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, could we have done something different? That's all I'm saying. But I get what y'all saying, and I get what Rihanna is saying too. Meg is bringing the views. Meg is bringing the traffic in. Meg is bringing the younger people. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us would not have watched the presidential campaign. Would not be watching it right now had it not been hip hop in there.
yeah, I mean, a lot of women wouldn't have stepped in to really.
I get it.
Meg brought an audience to it. Like,
I get it.
Which that's the whole purpose. Is like, yo, we need as many eyes as
I
possible.
get it.
Yeah.
And we need, and like honestly, like they need donations. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
all this stuff.
But
is to
but
raise
you
them
know
money.
what? If we gonna go there, then they should have put Sexy Red up there on the stage because she been hollering Sexy Red for president for the longest time, and who better to do a campaign than with her?
I ain't finna compete with Sexy Red for president.
I'm not saying competing. I'm just saying like.
Hey, hold up though. You think Sexy Red voting for Kamala? That's the real question. you think that would even be an option?
Yeah.
No.
Sexy Red is on tape saying
Nah.
she fucked with Trump.
Yeah, never mind.
So.
She read about that bag, man. She sure
Yeah.
good.
Never mind.
Right. So,
I
that
tried.
note.
Yeah.
This has been a Type Beat producer podcast.
So
Brought to you.
yeah. One more time. As soon as this joint is over, man, go ahead and hit up your iOS, your Android, your Google Play Store, whatever. Go ahead and download the Unapologetic World app.
Get the fuck out.
Marie says,
Trump
nah.
get sexy.
Go ahead and get the Unapologetic World app available for iOS and Android devices. You know what I'm saying? If you can, man, go out and support Coffee Black. Go and get some black coffee directly from Coffee Black. You can find them at coffeeblack.com. The O is an X. You feel me? Yeah, man. Find them. Find us. Yeah, man. Check us out, man. We're doing a lot of crazy stuff. The second half of this year is about to be pretty wild. And that's all I'm really going to say for right now. But as always, stay tuned with us in the app. You know what I'm saying?
Tap in.
Big shout out Rhiannon. She said, I adore you guys. This blessed me. You know, it's been a blessing having you in the chat for real. Just been a blessing having you in this community and being a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Big shout out Alexis. Big shout out Marie, who just chimed in. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out Dino Starseed. You know what I'm saying? Make sure things is accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
Anybody check to see if Trump walked out to 56?
Yeah. Did Trump?
I gotta find out if that was real or not.
Did Trump? I don't think that happened, bro.
We gonna report next week
and see
I
what's
up.
saw the real.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I know Not Like Us was definitely out here.
With that being said, it's your man I Make Mad Beats, live from outer space. This is a podcast called Type Beat, where we discuss all things producer, engineer, music, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. My name's I Make Mad Beats. My cast is
LJ1S.
Unique, period.
Kid Maestro.
With that being said, this has been another episode of Type Beat. Stay safe, stay dangerous, do both or do neither. Peace.
Peace.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit. Here we go again.